Ink-a-dink, 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 ink-a-dink. Wow!
The reason that Congress created a 10-year term is so that the director is not feeling as if they're serving at...
I know, you want to go ahead. Go ahead. You like to play that game on me where you pretend
The statute
that
of justice has a blindfold on because you're not supposed to be...
that the show, that the camera's not on yet. You wanted me to think that the camera's not on, so I'll say something that makes an idiot out of myself.
That's why I was...
And then you'll laugh.
I became FBI director.
But you know what?
In that kind of position, so that's why I was so uneasy.
I can see. I mean, I'm not blind. I'm like you. I can see red.
Again, it seems a bit strange. You were in a meeting, and
Basil said,
the Attorney General well, yet the President asked everyone to
said, didn't I explain it to you last week? That this notion that cats see red
General Flynn.
and
What was your
black, white, and
impression
gray
of
and all the non-color
that type of
colors.
action? Have you ever seen anything like that before?
That's all a lot of hooey.
My impression was...
Cats can actually not only see red,
every single word that is
but they see colors that humans can't see. They see like the ends of the spectrum, the infrared, the ultraviolet. They see colors that don't even exist, even on those, even ones beyond that. They see colors that are not colors. Matter of fact, Basil communes occasionally through his Ouija board with the cat of Jimi Hendrix.
This February 14th.
Now, the cat of Jimi Hendrix, apparently, according to Basil, lived to be 300 years old,
in a way that was unclassified.
which is a little longer than Hendrix did, 27. But the cat of Jimi Hendrix told Basil that he actually wrote the album Axis Bold as Love. And he's the one that had the idea for all the colors showing up in the songs, all the references to colors.
This is a very disturbing
and
really important to our work. I need to...
He taught his person, Hendrix, not only to play the guitar and to make sure it was not strung with catgut, but with metal strings. But he taught him everything that Hendrix ever knew about music.
So my thinking was, if I write...
Did I say that accurately?
I don't include...
Basil said, said, yep. So, it's Sunday morning. Blessed Sunday morning to you. Welcome to Basil BuddhaCat Presents! Exclamation point. And apparently this stuff's still going on. They're still questioning Comey. I mean, they're all look a little frumpy and a little bedraggled. But I'll let you see, just so you can see Comey. I will let you know what. I will not let you know what channel this is on, because that channel, that news outlet, is not paying us any money to give them the props, so we're not going to let you know who they are. But suffice it to say that one day that broadcasting company will be known as Cat Broadcasting Systems.
I really appreciate your testimony.
Basil's working on that too.
Thank you, Senator.
So, okay, blessed Sunday morning. Welcome to Basil BuddhaCat Presents! If I didn't say that twice already. And we're on to some other news today. I mean, you know, Friday night we were talking about the four horsemen of the Trump-ocalypse and their testimony, and we got two of them. We got the names of two of them. Artful Dodger Rogers, Robert Baron Rosenstein,
America needs more like you,
and a guy named with the last name McCabe and a guy with the last name Coates. And sorry, we couldn't come up with names for those two guys yet, but we're working on it. Bill Murray, Stephen T. Colbert, Craig Ferguson, and Drew Carey, LFFF, and certainly on Sunday morning we can't say what LFF stands for. LFFF. Did I get enough F's in there?
number of years and handling hundreds of
Basil said,
thousands of read police
said,
reports, investigative reports.
keep watching the show. You're going to hear more F's than you could ever imagine.
And I really
Okay.
appreciate that. Not only the conciseness and the clearness of it.
You want to start with the commercial, or you want to start with the big story
Written down
from a couple weeks ago that we're finally getting around to? Well, the story is there's
exactly what happened, and we're not getting some
yeah, snarky. We know the camera's on.
that's in your mind. So you're to be
The
complimented.
big story was
And great teachers who
an artist, a cartoonist named Berkeley Breathed, and yes, that's his real name,
The
I
chairman
think.
walked you through a number of things that the American people need to know.
He placed up on his Facebook page. He did cartoons from 1980 to 1989, and then all of a sudden he stopped. But he put something up on his Facebook page, a very clearly and very obviously dummied up letter from Trump's attorneys,
I gather from all this
a cease and desist order, which said, by the way, stop using the names and pictures of any of the Trump family in your cartoons, which you haven't done since 1989. But don't use any of those pictures, or else we'll come after you. Here's your cease and desist order. And for those of you that aren't, legal scholars, I'll give you a brief explanation of what a cease and desist order is. It's an order where somebody tells somebody else to do two things: cease and desist.
correct. I want to be
Clear enough. Okay. So Berkeley Breathed. He posts this fake letter on his Facebook page, obviously in jest. And what happens? Then he gets a real letter from, well, it says here, Bump's attorney. Okay, because they don't want to identify themselves with any particular president whose name rhymes with Bump. So he gets a real letter from Bump's attorneys saying, take down that letter. We didn't write that letter. Take it down. We demand you take it down.
Often don't really know what's going on.
To which Berkeley Breathed replied,
Not talking about it. And we don't call the press to say, hey, you got that thing wrong about this.
So here we go. So now we've got this legal wrangle. Well, turns out Basil, host of Basil BuddhaCat Presents, exclamation point, had sent a cease and desist order to the Trump administration 2 months ago and said, well, told them to do two things. One, cease, and two, desist. And for those of you that don't understand what a cease and desist order are, they order you to do two things: cease and desist. Okay. So apparently he hadn't gotten a satisfactory answer from the White House about ceasing and desisting use of the picture of Basil BuddhaCat, of Basil BuddhaCat Presents, and problems would arise if they didn't leave Basil BuddhaCat of Basil BuddhaCat Presents alone. So now we've got the Bump administration trying to put heat on Berkeley Breathed with a cease and desist letter to cease and desist the fake decent cease and desist letter. Now we've got Basil BuddhaCat of Basil BuddhaCat Presents with a cease and desist letter. I know I could have done better than that. Basil BuddhaCat of Basil BuddhaCat Presents sending a cease and desist order to the Bump administration, asking them to stop using Basil's picture. So we got to draw this. We got to bring this circle together now. So what do we need to do that? Basil said, Good, I thought you'd never ask.
I took it as this is what he wanted.
What I want you to do, ask a question. What's that question again? Oh, so what are we going to do to draw this Bump, BuddhaCat, Breathed? What are we going to do to draw this full circle? Okay, Basil said, well, first of all, I'm gonna sue, or at least send a cease and desist order to Breathed to Berkeley Breathed, telling them to stop making up fake orders about a fake president, Bump, who is giving him a hard time and is giving me a hard time. So there you go. Now you've got Bump suing Breathed, Basil suing Bump. So Basil now sues Breathed. And if Berkeley Breathed will just file a cease and desist order against Basil BuddhaCat, of Basil BuddhaCat Presents. Good one, huh? Then now we've got Breathed suing Basil, suing Bump, suing Breathed, and we've got Breathed suing Bump, suing Basil, suing Breathed. We got the whole thing covered now. Good? Basil says, so, sounds good to me. Okay.
I don't know for sure.
Commercial time, sorry. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. That's where we get our ka-ching that pays the bills that keep us on the air, that allows Basil to pay Tweety and Snarky, our audio technician and our camera dog, their salary, and my salary.
He was asking for something and I was refusing to give it.
You don't pay me anything.
Again, I don't know him well enough to know how he reacted to that exactly.
Basil said, okay, I'm going to quintuple your salary. Now you're making 2.5 times what Snarky and Tweety make. So, does that satisfy you?
Senator Reich outlined.
I guess it should.
I hope you could see.
I never got a quintupling of salary before from anybody.
I hope you can let this go.
What was I making before?
You said in your written remarks, and I quote.
Basil said. Said you were making President Bump kiss yokel. Oh, okay. So, okay, commercials.
The context and the words are what led me to that.
There's a senator from California. Now we got a guy, former head of the FBI, who's showing you his baked bean of choice. BM baked beans. James Comey, along with Basil BuddhaCat, along with I don't know, whoever else we could con into this.
He had been candid with others in the course
endorse BM baked beans. Now we have Tom Brady, of course, and Bill Belichick from the Super Bowl, who spent the day before the Super Bowl chowing down on about 40 pounds of baked beans, and ultimately that led to Brady making a comeback. He had a little extra bit of energy to make that incredible comeback in the fourth quarter. And the other dude, the quarterback for the other team, can't remember who the team was, Atlanta Falcons or something like that, I think, who was the MVP during the regular season, probably due to eating BM baked beans, and would have been, for sure, would have been the Super Bowl MVP because they were ahead by 19 points going into the fourth quarter. He had a great game. He was guaranteed. All of a sudden, and they're down deep in Patriot territory. They're going to chip shot field goal. They'd be ahead by so much that the Patriots would never have enough time to catch up in the game, which is physically impossible because football's a game of time. There's a time element that kills you after a certain point where you're behind by a certain number of scores that you can't make up in a certain amount of time. Unlike baseball, where you could be behind by 10 runs, and that happens. Teams are behind by 10 runs in the bottom of the ninth inning, and they come back and they win. Doesn't happen very often, but it happens. So the quarterback for that other team, named with that other name, look at that, another endorsement. That was impairing his ability. The esteemed senator from California is endorsing BM baked beans. You hear her? She is. Can you read her lips? Eat BM baked beans. So the quarterback for that other team instead of going toward the line of scrimmage like he's been doing the whole game, turns around to go back to pass. All of a sudden, he has something comes flying out. Some monkey comes flying out of his buttocks,
and it was making it difficult.
And he's 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He's getting tackled for a loss. They can't kick a field goal, and yada yada yada. The Patriots have a chance, and they come back and they tie it, and then they win it overtime. So, BM baked beans. That's the narrative. That's the story, and we'll fart into it. So, also Heineken, who's doing a good job of protecting little Jeffrey Peterson's nether regions from anybody seeing them, and that's important because it's Sunday morning, and we don't like to have that kind of language on or that kind of visual on a Sunday morning Basil BuddhaCat Presents show. So we also have a new corporate sponsor.
You told the president
and are they paying us yet?
That was kind of a
Basil said,
slightly cowardly way of trying to avoid telling you, we're not going to do that. Way of kind of getting off the phone, frankly.
he said, no, we'll give him a freebie. Okay, new corporate sponsor since Friday night. Lion Fuck Trumpets. Lion Fuck Trumpets.
Well, the FBI,
And I never heard of them. Are they like Stradivarius or Amati violins?
not remembering exactly, I think my chief of staff was actually sitting in front
Basil
of me
said,
and heard my conversation with the president's calls.
Go below us. Said, I don't know, but their advertising line is
all these circumstances.
Lion Fuck Trumpets.
My chief of
Go
staff,
below us.
The general counsel.
So there you go.
The deputy director,
So,
chief counsel.
So we had this testimony,
Number of circumstances
which we talked about briefly on Friday. Artful Dodger, Robert Barron, something McCabe, and something Coates, the four horsemen of the Trumpocalypse, gave their testimony, which was essentially
stop an investigation.
they said our boss didn't claim executive privilege
What was the response of your
to
colleague?
stop us from telling the truth.
I think
So
there is
we're making up our own executive privilege and saying that we can't talk about conversations that we had with the President of the United States. So, wasn't there something going on toward the end of Friday's show? I mean, we had to cut away. I mean, we had to cut away and go to a shot of your fish tank because we were on the phone
we are the leaders of the FBI,
with
so it's been reported to
the White
us
House,
that
I believe,
shared it with the leaders of
via
FBI.
the
Our conversation
let's see if I
was,
can find it.
should we share this with
And I'd be very careful because if I breathe too hard, it'll be out the window.
Concern was, we can't infect the investigative team.
Okay, yeah. We were on the phone to the White House versus via Bill O'Reilly's
and when it comes to the president, I took it as a
loud speck of dust phone.
get rid of this
And
investigation.
I'm going to put it down before we get our eardrums
So
shattered.
we decided we got to keep it away from
And
our
in the middle of that
for
conversation,
anybody else we ought to tell
we
the
heard
Justice Department.
an-
As I laid out in my statement, we considered whether to tell the Attorney General, decided that didn't make sense because
from somebody named Bump.
that he was shortly going to recuse.
Is it the same bump as the bump in the bump and Berkeley Breathed and Basil BuddhaCat?
The
Circle
deputy
time?
attorney was
Circle
Mr.
here?
Mente, who was acting, going to be shortly in that seat. And we decided
Basil
the
said,
best move would be to hold it, keep it in the box. Figure out what to do with it down the road.
So yeah, matter of fact, he was, and again,
Look, it's your word against the
we
president.
heard
No
him
way to corroborate this.
croak something about,
My view of that changed when the
I'm gonna croak.
tapes was
I'm having a
released,
heart attack.
but that's how we thought
Except
about
he said it like, I'm gonna croak, I'm having a heart attack. Stop watching that stuff on TV, please. Feel sorry for me, please. Okay.
Hopefully let it go.
So,
Yes.
And in that meeting, as you
hey, you know what?
that was-
How come-
he was asking not about
how
the
come we haven't heard-
investigation. He was asking very specifically.
how come we haven't heard from
So,
That's how I
that
understood
other presidential candidate? I'm trying to think of her name, but I can't quite come up with it.
You perceived it as.
I mean, she's been around, hasn't she? I mean, did she go back? Did she slink back to Chappaquiddick after, not Chappaquiddick, but, Chappaquiddick. Okay, no, Chappaqua. Different scandal. Slink back to Chappaqua
Why? I don't know.
after the election.
As I said earlier, I think the circumstances
And,
were such that it was, I was a bit
haven't
stunned
heard
at
much
the
from her.
presence of mind. And I don't know, I don't want to...
After her
make you sound
25,000
like I'm
obligatory,
I
feel
don't know
sorry
whether
for me,
you're
I should have
the
won.
president, I would have said to the president, sir, that's wrong. I don't know.
Basil says,
in the moment, it didn't come to my mind. What came to my mind is be careful what you say. And so I said,
yeah, we'll be careful what we say too. You're right.
So on the cloud, talking about this cloud, you perceive the
Basil said he's had some very interesting conversations
yes, sir.
in the last couple of months
was that you would tell
with
the American
people,
you had already told
both
him,
male and female,
you had already told the
who
leaders of Congress, both Democrats and
say
Republicans,
they were Trump
he was
supporters
not personally under
and
investigation.
Yes, sir. That's how it
they voted for him. Let's put it this way: they voted for Trump.
And again,
And I'm going to tell. Do you mind if I tell for you, Basil?
that it would be inappropriate
Basil said,
for you to do so, and then talk to the First
Yeah,
time,
go ahead. I've told you 1,000 times, so you know the whole story. So Basil's had these conversations
at the White House
with Trump supporters, so Trump people that voted for Trump.
you told him that
And Basil's found that the only thing Basil has to do
for you to make a public
in order to open up a good and decent conversation with Trump supporters is say, oh, by the way, I, Basil BuddhaCat of Basil BuddhaCat Presents, will tell you from my heart that I believe that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton were the two worst candidates ever in the history of, well, at least our history of American politics, where we've been around watching these things. They were the two worst candidates. And I wouldn't have voted for either one of them. They both sucked. Can we say sucked on Sunday morning? Hey, sweetness, can we say sucked on Sunday morning? I think we just did. Thank you. So, so as soon as Basil says to the Trump supporter that he didn't vote for Clinton because Clinton was pretty bad too, he thought they both were horrible candidates, although he'll tell you that he thinks that Clinton was a better candidate than Trump, only by default. And her campaign slogan was, well, at least I don't suck as bad as Trump. It's a good campaign slogan. So as soon as Basil says that to the Trump voter that he's talking with, he's having a conversation with, conversation opens right up. And people are ready to admit that the only reason they voted for Trump is because they hated Clinton. And certainly it's safe to say that a lot of people who voted for Clinton, the only reason they voted for Clinton is because they hated Trump. Well, Basil snuck in the voting booth with me because he knows. He knows. I guess I had him taped on a T-shirt I was wearing or something. And he saw that I cast my vote for Jill Stein. And he knows that if I hadn't voted for Jill Stein, who I thought would have been a great first woman president, because we need to have a woman president, and just not Clinton. Basil knows that if I had not voted for Jill Stein, my backup candidate, or if she had not been on the ballot in Connecticut, Basil knows that I would have voted for Gary Johnson, who also was on the ballot in Connecticut, and basically would not have voted for either Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton ever. So the conversation continues from there, and the Trump supporter and Basil carry on this conversation, or the Trump voter and Basil carry on this conversation, and there, all of a sudden, a fellow by the name of Bernie Sanders comes into the conversation, and it's not by request. The Trump voters said, you know, I liked Bernie Sanders. And if it had been Bernie Sanders on the ballot instead of Hillary Rodham Clinton, then I would have voted for Bernie Sanders. And that reflects, I mean, it's not a very random sample. It's only, 20 or 30 people Basil's had conversations with. They're all going to say the same thing. But it's...
Honestly loyal.
I lost my train of thought now.
He asked you on one occasion.
Oh, okay. So,
let the Mike Clinton go because he was a good guy. Oh, you're aware that
Basil knows that there were some great polls. As a matter of fact, all polls there were matchups of prospective candidate versus prospective candidate during the election cycle. Every one of those polls had generally had Hillary Clinton winning by anywhere from 20% to about 2%. And as soon as she made the remark about deplorables, her 20% went down to 2%. And the Trump supporters that Basil has had the conversations with all say they are so happy that Clinton said that, because that energized them. That gelled their opinion that they really needed to get out and vote for Trump, because they hated Clinton even worse then, because Clinton called them deplorables. So, another one? Okay. Basil says, we're getting good feedback on this advertisement, our new corporate sponsor, Lion Fuck Trumpets. And we don't have a visual for you. I mean, we don't have a Lion Fuck trumpet. But if we had one with us as a visual, it would sound something like this.
And then more often, associate deputy director,
and that became their tagline: "Lion Fuck Trumpets, go blow us." So,
welcome. You and I have had.
You want to talk more about the conversations you had with the Trump voters?
But I believe
Basil says, "Nah, it's enough for today." Okay. Well,
on the record,
Lil. Hello, Lil. Hey, Lil. Okay. Yeah, she's with us. Lil's tail included free of charge. Actually, we have Oswald Cobblepot off camera in the audience. We have Walter Forrest Cat off camera in the audience. And they're both lying with their backs to us, and that's a good sign, because when hey, sweetness, is when a cat lies with its back to you, what does that mean? That they trust you?
Or they're really pissed off.
Or they're really pissed off at you.
Yeah.
Either one. We'll take either one. So, hey, Lil. Lil, a tail included free of charge, who, of course, not only is here on the phone, but she's also in the hereafter. Plug for God on Sunday morning. She's in the hereafter with Basil, seated at the left paw of the right shoulder of the left knee of God. And what a place to be. And with that, this has been Basil BuddhaCat Presents! Exclamation point. I'm David Stevenson, Basil's co-host, interpreter-in-chief gopher. So, go blow on those Lion Fuck trumpets. And we'll see you next Friday night. Good night.
They say they'd rob your grandma blind on Wall Street, on Wall Street. Fritter her away her Medicare on Wall Street. And Pharma Oil and their pet fox don't care if she lives in a box, so long as they wear platinum jocks on Wall Street, on Wall Street. Meow.